Well, hello there. It just really made me happy to appear from beneath. What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday yet again. I was hoping you could see more of these glasses. Let me scoot this back a little bit. There we go. Keyboard is so I can respond to people in the chat. I've made the chat a separate window. There we go. I love Trevor's in the pregame squad. Awesome, man. Awesome. Oh, let's put this down here for now. How you guys doing? Happy Sunday. It's still a crazy world. We're into August. It's the August of Corona still. But we're going to keep fighting. Going to keep trying to have a good time. I really do think that a lot of what content creators can offer is some normalcy and some fun and some distractions, but also some community. You know, I mean, we're all doing this together. Everybody's trying to do the, be the best they can, help support each other, help to stop the spread of any communicable diseases, but particularly coronavirus these days. So, yes, thanks, Mark. I'm feeling very debonair indeed. Got my Naptown Bourbon Club shirt on. I just came back from an event they had today. It was a lot of fun. They've got a couple of things they've probably sold out of by now, so I won't even bother mentioning them. They're doing cool stuff around here in Indianapolis area. But I've got some more videos. They helped me a lot with the Weller videos. I'll talk a little bit later in this stream tonight about some of the other things that they're going to be helping me with, but mainly because they're things that I'm also going to need your help with. I've got some really cool samples. Some of them are up here. I don't know where I put the other ones. I got them out on purpose so that I could. Oh, there they are. These. Oh, that doesn't belong there. Well, glad to know that the chaos has continued. Great start to the program. So yeah, I've got some really cool samples that I'm going to need your help to get more of because I'm trying to do another lineup like I did with the Weller products. I'm still trying to get that single barrel Weller, but you know, I don't have a lot of high hopes for it. That is a big ask. I did, though, get a different Weller product that I won't mention here because I want to save it. But there'll be a fun review coming up of that one as well. Got a lot of good reviews coming up, to be honest with you. I've had some really wonderful tastes recently. Good people out there. You guys are super helpful. I love it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, for staying engaged, for helping me make this content. It means everything. So I'm gonna grab my water. Water is important whenever we do one of these Sunday live streams that turned out to be quite hefty loads, typically in terms of the amount I'm drinking. So water is centrally important. But what am I doing today? So I've got several different Maker's Mark private selections. Now, what you saw on the thumbnail, I'm going to move these glasses, and we'll talk about these glasses here in a minute. What you saw on the thumbnail were three of what actually I have six different private selections. And I should have had seven. I've got another one somewhere that I thought I included in this, but I didn't. But that's okay. We'll continue to push forward. Some days things get a little wonky, and you just got to keep making the best of it. So I've got these six different Maker's Mark private selection pours. The three the most recent Ohio batch were four different picks, and I have three of them included in this. There are others out there from Ohio. Matter of fact, one of the other earlier Ohio picks is also included in this lineup. And then one of them is a recent acquisition that I hadn't seen before from 2017, a 21st Amendment store pick, which is a local store here in town. Shout out to Tab25, who has been on some of these live streams. He was the one that helped me out getting that 21st Amendment pick over here today. So that was very cool of him. And I've got the rest of these, I think, were all from Nate, I believe. Yeah, I think the rest of these were all from Nate Cooper. So big shout out to Nate Cooper for helping keep this alive. If you've been keeping track, I've named 5 different picks, which is why I just realized in my brain that, oh, shoot, I'm missing something. So I decided to include the RC6, which was the first sort of specialty release by Maker's Mark. The RC6 is done in a similar process to the private selections. That is to say, private selections, essentially, they make regular Maker's Mark, and then they let you choose the staves that are used to finish the product. The RC6 is a specialty stave that is used to finish the product in the exact same way. So it's essentially going to be very, very similar, or it should be. It's just going to be a matter of the RC6 staves being different from the French Cuvée or the other kinds of staves that are in some of these private selections from Ohio. I had one other Indiana private selection. I don't know where it is, so I'm not going to be doing it tonight. If we get through all these, and these are all blind, by the way, and you might say, how did you do them blind? Did Yolanda help you out? Not this time. Typically, that's what happens. But today, I have the sample bottles over here, out of frame, with like labels and numbers on them. And then I just wrote a number on the back of the sample bottle. I wrote a number on the bottom of these glasses. I don't know if you can see. There's a little bit of blue there at the bottom. That will tell me the number, but I have not seen them, or I can't remember them. I wrote them all while I was pouring them, and then I mixed them up. I'm going to mix them up again when I set them out here. I can't keep track of 6 numbers like that unless I'm really trying to. So that should be sufficient to give me a blind tasting. But it also is good, I think, for you all to see that you can, in fact, do a blind tasting without anybody else there. All you need is some, desire to actually do it. So I'm going to mix these all up. I don't remember where any of them go. We're just going to play a little roulette. Not roulette. What is that game called? Somebody remember what this game is called? Where you have the 3 balls or 3 cups and 1 ball, and you move them around. A shell game. Gonna play a little shell game with these Maker's picks. I mean, this is just for show. Honestly, I don't have any clue what's in any of these glasses at this point. I've told you what is available. We've got. I'll name them all here in a minute. Although I'll be honest, I'm not going to remember all the names. The one that is missing is the Crown Liquors 3.0. I forgot to include that. What are you going to do? Hey, thanks. Yolanda tuned in. She hasn't been feeling well, so appreciate you tuning in, babe. Hope you start feeling better. Yeah, I trimmed up the beard and the hair today a little bit, just a little bit, but I think it makes a big difference. It really does. So I got to straighten this. My OCD, ADD, all my letters are kicking in. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty right there. I like that. I like that. Where do I put this so it doesn't break everything? On the floor. That's where I used to put it. That's where I will put it once again. So I've got in here. I'm going to try to do this from memory, and we'll see how it goes. Usually I have a notepad because my memory is terrible. But I've got, first off, the 21st Amendment pick is easy. That doesn't have a specific name. I will say that there is a name on the bottle as well. I won't put her on not on blast, but I won't shout her out here because she has nothing to do with this. I don't want to give her any positive or negative feedback. There was a person's name on the 21st Amendment pick, and she used to be an assistant manager at one of 21st Amendment stores, and they liked her so much that they let her pick her own and say, this is your pick. And so she got to pick this Maker's Mark blend for the private selection, the stave blend. So, and I will say also, on that bottle, I'll just grab it, I'll show you. On this bottle, there are no markings on the back. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see how it's blank. They didn't disclose what staves they used. I've seen that done before, but not very frequently. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, I think part of the fun is knowing all the different recipes and knowing what you've done before and how recipes compare. And do I like the wood flavor in this one? Oh, then I need more French cuvee and the kinds that I like. So then in the future, you know, you see a store pick and you're like, oh, this thing's all French cuvee. I'm going to love that. Like, that's part of the fun to me. You know, I feel like that's really important. Steven says, guys, I get to go to the first shift in the morning for the first time in 10 years, my entire working life so far. Have a drink with me in celebration. Cheers. Heck yeah, man. Well, congrats, Steven. That's awesome, man. Congrats, Steve. That's great. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to wander off camera. Sorry, that took a minute. Steven, I was looking for an excuse to celebrate something, so I'm really happy for you, Steve. That's awesome, bud. We're going to pop open the Weller Foolproof Big Red Liquor store pick here live on camera. I think this is a freaking great precursor to my Maker's Mark line. I'm just going to take a wee nip of it, a wee nip for the initial tasting, but I wanted an excuse to open this thing. Talking with Tab 25, he convinced me to open it instead of selling it. I don't think I was actually going to sell it anyway, to be honest with you. You know, I think that when you buy a bottle that's worth hundreds of dollars in the secondary market, don't let your dreams be dreams, Kyle. No, they're not going to be, Steve. I'm opening this mother. When you buy something that's worth a lot of money on the secondary market, you have that tinge inside of you like, oh, do I open it? Yolanda's not happy I'm having 7 pours tonight. Oops, sorry, babe. Ooh, yeah, that was a good one. So this is barrel 148, warehouse. I think that's an I. It's either a 1 or an I can't tell. Warehouse 1 or I. Floor 6. Again, it's barrel 148. I've heard on good authority that barrel 148 is a really good barrel. I'm just going to have a wee nip. Just a wee dram of this one. Oh, that's a really loose cork. I don't like loose corks. Where did my tasting notes go? I like having my handy-dandy bourbon flavor wheel over here. And I'm actually, in the near future, going to develop my own flavor wheel. I think I may have talked about this last time, but I'm really serious about it this time. I'm sick of feeling confined by this narrow-ass flavor wheel. So I'm going to make my own that's much broader. And I anticipate a result of that being more creative and more expansive flavor and nose notes in my videos, because I'm going to actually have a broader, more expansive vocabulary to reach for in terms of muscle memory in my mind. And that's really what this is all about, tasting and nosing, is just keep going and going and going and doing and doing and doing, and eventually you'll build these sort of basically like tracks of memories in your brain. You'll attach things to other things. I get a lot of fruit. I get a lot of caramel. Oh, yeah. Oh, interesting. So this is really, now this is just a preliminary pour. I'm just pre-gaming the main event here, guys. So I'm not going to go super in detail in my flavor notes. If you want more flavor notes on the Foolproof, go check it out. But this is distinct because this is a Foolproof store pick. So it will have some differences. This is way more balanced, though. My biggest complaint, oh, and the finish is crazy on this. My biggest complaint about the Foolproof was that it was all out of whack. The wood in the Foolproof was just way too bright, way too strong. Especially when you compared it next to the other Weller products, the Foolproof just, yeah, it's a lot better than the regular, Trevor, for sure. The Foolproof just felt sort of off kilter. I will at some point do a side-by-side with this antique and a special reserve just to make sure that my positive feelings today aren't a result of having it separate from the lineup. But the woodiness on this is really different than the woodiness I remember on the regular Foolproof. It was a lot more in your face. It was a lot sharper and more had more of an edge to it. In this one, the woodiness kind of sneaks up on you. So sweet, hints of wood, caramel, and then you get this sort of chocolatey note. It's like chocolate covered pecans, maybe chocolate covered almonds. And then in the back of your throat, like back here, you get this sort of like, oh, it's hard to describe. What up, Nate? Yeah, you get this sort of interesting oakiness in the back of your throat. So, Weller Foolproof, Big Red store pick. Glad I popped it. Cheers to you, Steve. Enjoy for the first time in 10 years getting that first shift going. So, oh yeah. That is a really unique pour. That is really unique. I've had some complaints from my mother that I don't drink enough water in these videos, that I don't cleanse my palate enough in these videos. She can't help herself. So, but to be fair, she's got a point. Cleansing after each tasting does help improve your notes. It helps clear your palate. It's a valuable exercise. So I begrudgingly will listen to my mother and drink more water in between pours today. All right, what do we got here? That's a good one. That's a good one, Steve. Steve was drinking on that Eagle Rare. What are people drinking on? Let me know. Are you sipping some Makers along with me here? What's happening? I'd love to hear it. Oh, yeah. Already getting sweat going. That's how you know it's going to be a good night when I start sweating. Only 20 minutes into the reviews. Okay. So I didn't tell you what was in here, did I? So, RC6, Maker's Mark. 21st Amendment, that one assistant manager, her Maker's Mark. I've got I believe this was a 2019 Ohio store pick from Nate. That's a Maker's Mark in here, private select. And then I have 3 of the 4 recently released Ohio store picks of Maker's Mark from Nate as well. Those would be, let me see if I can remember this. I think one was Toffee Almond. I believe one was Grandma's Kitchen. Oh, what was the third one? Honeysuckle. Honeysuckle. So, Honeysuckle, Grandma's Kitchen, Toffee Almond. All right, so yeah, a lot of things happen in the chat. I try to keep in touch with this. Yeah, Mom does know best. Oh, Old Forester single barrel state pick for Nate there. Trevor sipping 2 Maker's Mark picks. Sounds like a good plan. And the RC6. Yeah, there's a RC6 in there, Steve. You're right. We'll see how it is. Mark's a cheap date. The Heaven Hill 6-year. Hey, man, that's a great thing to grab. I need to actually get down there myself and grab a couple of those because I've got the old label in there in my closet, my bourbon closet, and I'd really love to do a review of it, old versus new, on the Heaven Hill stuff there. So I was going to grab something. What was I going to do? My eyes are bothering me today. It must be an allergy season. Luckily, my sinuses are relatively clear, so that shouldn't be a problem with these whiskeys. When I first started making videos, and this was before I had a YouTube channel, I was quite ill, and I was damn determined to make a video. So I was huffing what are they? Essential oils. I was huffing essential oil peppermint to clear up my sinuses so I could breathe and get some more notes on the whiskey. That was a pretty aggressive move, but you know what? Sometimes you got to be aggressive. So I've gone through all of them now. You know what all is in here. I don't know what order they're in. I totally forgot which is why I have a handy-dandy notebook. What will this notebook do? It will let me remember what the hell I think is what. Now, I'm going to give these A, B, C, D, E, F. I'm doing A through F because on the bottom of this and written on the sample bottles, I have numbers, and I don't want to confuse myself. So we're going to stick with the letter system. I'm going to try to not ruin this table here. We're going to go ahead. I think first things first. I'm going to write all these letters first things first. Sounds like I had a stroke there for a minute. First things first, I'm going to go through and nose each one of them just back to back to back to back to back. Just give myself an initial thought, just like a first impression kind of deal, you know? And we'll go from there, but I feel like I might learn something doing that. Specifically, I mean, we know there's the RC6 in here, and we know that that's going to be a unique port, but my leg's itching. We got mosquitoes out here too, man. So let's go ahead and nose them. Ooh. So the first nose is a lot stronger than that second one. Whoa. First one's a lot more like honey. No, it's caramel, and the third one's more toffee. It might be toffee almond. Oh, no, that's got to be toffee almond. That's like straight up almonds. This is going to be a mess. I can already tell. Son of a bitch. Why do I do this to myself? I set up the most difficult blinds I could possibly do. These are all the same product. They are the same product. Like, I couldn't make this blind harder on myself if I was trying to guess the years and like just lined up like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 stags and like just try to do that. Oh man. I think I like the challenge. That's all I can figure. God, okay. I haven't noticed this one yet. Not getting much out of that one. That was sort of grain forward. That's definitely true, Nate. This is all good whiskey. That helps a lot. You know, I'd much rather be doing this. I'm going to push this forward a little bit. I think you guys can still see that, but like I'm genuinely worried about breaking some shit. And I don't really want to do that today. Yeah. So, itchy beard. Yeah. Should I shave my beard? Yeah, yeah, Jesus, no Midsummer Night's Dram. God. Yeah, just the random question about the beard. I'm creating some stir in the pot in the chat. I love it. I love it. Okay. Let's get in there. Let's get serious. I'm going to get real serious here. Scoop those to the side. And because of the way I'm doing this on the screen here, you're not going to really be able to see probably anything. I'm just going to like scoot things one way, scoot the other. Hopefully it'll work. We'll see how it goes. Why am I sweating so much? Okay. These bright lights. Big city. Number one. By the way, without my glasses, I think I can kind of look like a serial killer. Now I'm a happy whiskey drinker. Number 1. Oh, Yolanda has reminded me very helpfully that there is a ceiling fan in here. Let me turn that on. I will sweat much less with the ceiling fan. You got a remote too, so if I need more, I can crank it up. Put that there for now. Oh, I never turned these lights on. I had so much fun stringing these things up. Come on now. There we go. Make them do some fun shit. Whoa, that's pretty aggressive. You guys can't see how aggressive that is on that. Okay. Yeah, we're getting real fancy here. Real fancy. Actually, I usually don't film with the overhead light on. And I do think that helps a little bit. I like the bottles a little darker. I like the contrast between me and the bottles. But now I can, in real time, I'm being a real fancy boy today. This is what you came for. Just realize that you tuned in to watch me fucking dick around with the lights. I actually like it better with them on, so I'm going to keep them on. Surprising even myself. Okay. Number 1. And we're going to dig into this deep. I'm going to sneeze tonight. I'm going to sneeze tonight. There should be a running bet about, how much I'm going to sneeze, how many times. Oh, yeah, Steve's going for the Scotch, the Ardbeg 10. I'm not a big Ardbeg fan, I've learned. It's not that I don't like peaty whiskeys. It's that Ardbeg has a very medicinal quality that I don't get out of Lafroig. I get more smoke out of Lafroig, and I get more of a meatiness out of Lagavulin. I would say of the 3 that I've really explored with some intention, which is Lagavulin, Lafroig, and Ardbeg. My favorite is Lafroig. But I know there are others out there, like Auchentoshan. I think that's one of the Islas. I can never remember. I'm bad about this. There are not that many Isla distilleries, so I'd love to explore them some more. I got a lot of things going on in this chat. All right. Now, one of the things about Maker's Mark is Maker's Mark is sort of known for being rather sweet. So I'm getting a lot of sweet aromatics on all of these pours. And so drawing the nuances and the distinction will be rather difficult, I anticipate. First off, I'm getting a sharp vanilla. Sharp vanilla. Let me move this around a little bit, see if I can't give myself a workspace that's workable. Yeah, sharp vanilla on the nose here. What else we got? I'm going to try not to write down every single note because I'm not sure that's particularly helpful for my guessing, but I want to get something down. Yeah, I guess I'm getting caramel. Vanilla and caramel. Uh-oh. Oh, it was starting early today, guys. Whew, okay. It always helps, though. I can always smell better after that. I must have, I don't know, some sort of allergy problems. Okay. I'm actually getting a little bit of grain on this. Yeah, there's a little bit of grain, more grain than I anticipated on this. I guess I would call it bready. It's slightly bready. So I get vanilla, slight bread. There's definitely a caramel note. Caramel's for sure in there, but I kind of, like I said, I anticipate caramel being in almost all of these. Oh, I'm also getting a hint of chocolate. Black, dark chocolate. Actually, no, it's milk chocolate. It's just not white chocolate. Yeah, it's like a milk chocolate. There's definitely some spice in this, but it smells more to me like, honestly, like rye spice. I guess it could be barrel tannin, but it's not black pepper. It's not cinnamon or nutmeg or clove. Boy, it's a beautiful nose, though. I really like it. Oh, oh, got it, got it, got it. There's a hint of cherry in there. I love a cherry note. I love it. I love some cherry in my whiskey. The fruit notes are finally starting to show up. It took a while. By the way, just throw this out here. I see a lot of people on whiskey shows not use flavor wheels. And I think there's a stigma against it. There's a people that sort of want to say, oh, that's not like professional. That's not how professionals give tasting notes. Maybe it isn't, but I get a lot of value from it. And I think that it really shows that everybody can learn to drink like a professional. And I could sit up here and give you tasting notes on some of these without any chart in front of me, but I think it's valuable to you all to see me actually engage in the process the way anybody who's learning it would do it. You know, this is not just me sitting on my couch nosing a whiskey trying to figure out what I like and what I don't like about it. If I'm doing that, I'm not going to have a flavor wheel. But to have this here, it gives me a great opportunity to show you guys what I'm thinking, how I'm going through this process. It's a very active, participatory, demonstration, really, of the process. There's some beautiful berry notes in there too. There's cherry and berry, a lot of dark fruit. Now, I've seen a couple people nose like this. I don't nose like that typically, and here's why. I have some sinus issues that prevent me from getting a lot of good sense out of one nostril or the other given the time of day. And so really just shoving my nose in the glass as far as I can, that gives the most opportunity for the smell notes, the smelling particles to go up into the nostril. I don't want to get too technical on you guys, but the smelling particles go up in my face hole, and I can smell it better. So, but that's also why I sneeze a lot when I especially with these high proofers, because the one nostril is totally open. It's just fucking blowing it out. But the other one, I need to do that. So I'll usually get, essentially, instead of going like this, side to side, I'll go like, oh, this is normal distance, so my left one's working, and this is all up in my face, so my right one's working. God, I want to drink that. I initially said I was going to just go through and nose all of them, but God, I want to drink that. Okay. Gonna stick be a man of my word. What do we got in here? Yeah, I do laugh too much for a serial killer, Mark. You're right. Oh boy, Steve has only found the berry note on the High West AP so far. I'll tell you what, this bad boy right here. This is Buffalo Trace 375 store pick, Big Red Liquors, and the name of it, it's so blown out. The name of it's Fruit Basket. And to me, it's the quintessential berry note whiskey. I think I bought 3 of those, and I'm never been happier to buy multiples of any bottle ever. Number 2. Oh shit. Was this number 2? Oh fuck. Here we go. given the spacing, given where this was, I believe this was number 1. So, yeah, see, they really do a good job picking barrels. So I'm going to say this is number 2. Oh, yeah. This is a lot more, this is more astringent. Yeah, I get a lot of berry out of that one. Yeah, I'm not getting the berry in this, but I'm also not getting that caramel in this. I'm getting a lot of cherry and citrus. Cherry and lemon. Oh, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful nose. I mean, it's so interesting to me because this nose is so different from the first pick, but it's also still beautiful. Very cool. I love it. I love it. I'm a sucker for this stuff. Oh, I'm getting in too deep. Hold on. Okay. I'm getting a lot of fruit on this apple now showing up. This is way fruitier than the first one. The first one I was getting dark fruit, berries and cherries. This is a whole other. I get some apples. I get some citrus. I get all kinds of things. Still getting that sweet. This is more cereal than bread. The other one was bread. This is cereal. No chocolate in this one. This one's sharper. It definitely is. It kicks more. It kicks more. They had a question. I've just found these MMPS to be such enjoyable pours. Oh no, it's not a question. There's tons of variety, but I haven't found one I don't like. Yeah. Oh, Mike likes the 46 best of the makers. So, a fun story about 46. Makers 46 is called 46 because 46 was actually the designated number by the cooperage who made the staves that was used in the 46 process. So, Makers 46 was essentially people at Makers Mark wanted to make a different kind of unique thing. They tried their own distillate and remaking distillate. They never found something they liked. So they said, let's start with something we know we like, which is just standard Makers Mark, and then let's finish it in something else. Let's add some staves and mess around with it. So they worked with the cooperage, got some staves that they liked. Those staves were designated stave 46, Makers 46. And Makers 46 is going to be releasing a barrel strength version very soon. So that should be a fun thing to look forward to, Mike. Uh-oh, I just realized I might smear these. I hope I'm not smearing these numbers. I'll try to grab them from the sides. Now, the sweet notes on this are a lot softer. Yeah, so the cast strength makers, or the 46, they have done that in the gift shops, but now they're going to actually start distribution. So I think that's part of the process. They have opened up a couple of them. So there will be some people online probably selling them for astronomical figures. Ooh, I get a little maple syrup on this one. Okay, okay, okay. Wow, I'm really digging in deep on this one. I just went silent and just like meditated in this whiskey for a while. Sorry about that. It smells really good. I think I've kind of exhausted the notes on that one, though. Let me try to rub my sinuses a little bit. Make sure I'm smelling proper. Here's something I can get on any other live stream. That's that exclusive content I know you guys like. Okay, let's go to 3. This is more like, I keep numbering these. This is C. This is more like B than A. It's astringent. It's I get a lot of that citrus. Oh, vanilla, citrus, maybe a hint of honey.
He wants to say hi to all the people.
Okay. Yolanda's here with a doggo, so I'm going to grab the doggo in just a minute. Yeah, honey. So this is our little doggo, Oreo. She is a 10-pound miniature dachshund. She is obviously a handful. She wants nothing to do with me because mom is in sight. She can see mom. That's all she wants. Oh no. See how scared she got? Mom shut the door. Look at her. Look how perked up she got. So it's okay. Good girl. Go get mom.
Come on, let's go get dinner. I know you want dinner.
Okay, so let's dig back into number 3 here. Oh, what the hell is that? Now I've got a note that I'm... All right, let me try to dig deep into memory banks here. It's like powdered sugar and toffee. You know what it actually reminds me of is powdered donuts. I get a definite powdered donut quality out of this. This is letter C for all those of you keeping track at home. Yeah, see, Trevor said toffee almond, and now I'm thinking toffee almond. It's like an earworm. All right, let's go to number 4. Whoa, that is gotta be the toffee almond. That is so nutty. The nose is just nuts. In more ways than one. Nate says, I'm assuming you don't remember these much from a couple weekends ago. That is true. So Nate and Trevor were in town and happened to stop by. And we had a couple of wonderful blind flights, including a Maker's Mark blind flight that included several of these pours. Not all of them, but several of them. And I really don't remember my notes from that. And I specifically did not review those notes anytime in the near future because I wanted to come into this truly blind. I'm going to rank these as well once this is all over. And we'll see if it compares, how that ranking compares to my ranking the last time I did it, because I did keep those notes. I'm getting a lot of concerning noise coming from over here. It's over here. It's concerning because that's where I have A lot of whiskey stored in drawers. Okay. Yeah, very nutty. I mean, this just smells like toffee almond. This is just fucking gotta be toffee almond. It just has to be. It smells like toffee and nuts. And vanilla, I guess. All right. Let's go ahead to number 5. I'm just gonna push through that one. I mean, it smells good. It's just like so obviously distinctly different. Yeah, we did have quite a few pours that night, Trevor. Okay. Now this is letter E, for those of you playing the home game. E reminds me. So E doesn't have that rounded creaminess, that caramel note of 1. It doesn't have that astringency of 2. It's a lot like 3. C. C and E are very similar. I mean, C is still a little sharper. I still get more citrus out of C. I get a little bit of nuttiness. This could be toffee almond as well, but because I get an almond note. That's the second time. 2 sneezes. Yeah, definite almond note. Yeah, you do lose a lot of notes after you do 15 or 20, Steve. That's true. I think we counted and we had something like 35 different bottles that were sampled. I would say by the end of it, our notes were basically like, oh, I like this. Oh, I like this one more. Oh, do I like this one as much as that one? At a certain point, it just became a but on this one. Yeah, getting some honey as well. All these are really wonderful. I will say, like, none of these are bad pours. These are all great. Oh, fuck. Oh, see, I'm trying to get too fancy, guys. I'm trying to do too many things at once, and it's going to get me in trouble. If you're a member of the Patreon, I'll go ahead and say this now. If you're a member of the Patreon, you had an opportunity to purchase a bottle that I did a store pick of. Old 55 Distillery is an Indiana distillery, making some really interesting, delicious products. I was lucky enough to get a chance to go on a store pick with Indiana Bourbon on Instagram. They're giving me a small number of bottles that I can sell. It's a very small number, so if you want one, let me know ASAP. I think I already have half of them reserved. So it's $80 for a bottle. I went and picked it myself. If you want more information, check out the Patreon. I got it all up there. I posted the proof, the age, the mash bill, and now the distillery. So that's as much information as I have available to me at this point. This might be my favorite nose. I really like the nose on this. It's very creamy. Oh, it's like almost buttery. I would say this is buttery. I get a hint of cinnamon. Ooh, yeah, the cinnamon's getting stronger. Hint of cinnamon, hint of pepper, black pepper. That's a note I haven't mentioned yet. So this is kind of distinct. This is really hitting some good spots for me. Mm. Oh, that's beautiful. Hold on, I gotta give you something. I can't just keep saying that's beautiful. Let me give you some more notes. Hold on. There's not a lot of fruitiness on this one. Maybe a hint of a berry quality. A little bit of rye grain, a little bit of sweetness, the vanilla, the caramel. Very good, very good. Okay. Now clear my sinus a little bit. I should just use like a neti pot on live camera. That'd be great, huh? That's like watching me choke on water. Okay. I'm gonna go through and do a quick back to back to back to back to back to back, and then we'll give some quick notes, and then we'll dive deeper. Wow. A lot sharper. Ooh. It's fun to see the differences. That has to be toffee almond. If D is not toffee almond, I'm gonna be so mad. God, I still have this almond taste in my mouth. That's gotta be toffee almond. Okay, number 5. Not my favorite. Number 6. Kind of losing the plot by number 6. Okay. Drink of water, and then we're gonna go in one by one. So before I forget, I want to do a big, fat, awesome Michter's lineup. I've got several Michter's products up here. I've got Baumburgers and Shanks, which are both Michter's products, the 2019 versions. I've got the 10-year-old Michter's Rye and the 10-year-old Michter's Bourbon. I've got the 2018 Michter's Toasted Barrel Finish. And I've also got the Toasted Barrel Sour Mash. So I'm hoping to get some of the barrel strengths. I don't have those in my collection right now. I'd love to get a Fort Nelson or a 20-year or a 25-year or the Celebration Sour Mash. All those would be like beautiful, glorious icing on the cake. Just I don't, who can imagine ever tasting some of that stuff? Those are just unbelievable bottles. But if I can get any of those, it'd be incredible. It'd be a wonderful addition to this. So any of the super incredible Michter's stuff, I would be so thankful if anyone had some and they could send it to me. I would be very thankful if anyone could send me any of the barrel strength products. And then I think basically the rest of just the basic line. I mean, I could buy bottles of all of those, but I really don't want to because I don't keep that much standard Michter's product on hand. And maybe I will after doing this lineup. I don't know. But it would be really helpful if I could get some samples of other Michter's products. So if you've got some of the Michter's product that you're willing to send me, please reach out to me. I would be very grateful. I'll shout your name out. If you've got a cause you want me to shout out, I can shout that out too. I know Naptown Bourbon Club's done that. I know Wine and Table's done that. So I'm very happy to shout out whatever as just my expression of gratitude. So let's dig into number 1 here. Now that I've got my plug out of the way. Oh, God damn it. We've got a fucking fly on the monitor. See, I've heard that too, Steve. I've heard a lot of people really high on the Michter's American. So I'm curious to put that up against those bad boys. All right, let's dig into it. Oh, I might have dug too deep. Woo. I had some go up my nose. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. That's not how you're supposed to drink whiskey. Let me try that again. Okay. My Kentucky Chew was too aggressive. Gotta chill that out a little bit. It's woodier than I expected. Interesting. Definitely sweet. Get some caramel, vanilla, corn sweetness, malty cereal note, a little bit of black pepper, a little hint of chocolate. I don't think there's any fruit in this at all. No fruit, no floral, maybe a hint of herbal. Just a hint of some sort of herbal, maybe like a spearmint. But it's very, very subtle. Really oaky. It's sweet and it's oaky. And the finish is quite good on that. The finish lingers. That is a long finish. I'm going to make a note of that because that really, I mean, all those flavor notes are honestly pretty standard fare. Like those are just standard par for the course flavor notes, but the finish on that is kind of extraordinary. It's very woody. It's complex. It evolves. It starts with sort of a drier wood, and then it comes into this green, sweeter wood. Then you get sort of this almost charred, smoky wood. It's very, very good. I lost my water glass for a moment. I found it. Let's go in with number 2. I'm just going to put this on the table. Y'all just got to deal with that. Sorry if the aesthetic is not perfect. I need water. Oh, yeah. Okay. Way more stringent. See, that's not my favorite. I get some of that barrel bitter wood tannin. The sweetness is a lot more narrow. Really bitter wood. Really bitter. That's kind of extraordinarily bitter. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not feeling that. Let me give you some more notes besides just bitter. Initially, I get a little bit of grain, but it's pretty quick to disappear. Hint of vanilla sweetness, but again, pretty quick to disappear. Lots of this walnut and like a dry oak on the palate. Kind of takes over. Not my favorite. I have a sneaking suspicion that one's going to end up in last place. Let's try number 3. Oh man, it's so much better. Oh, see, now that's what's supposed to happen. Okay, so number 2, I have this really narrow hint of sweetness that goes away too quickly and then comes back with too much wood. Number 3, you have that big, loud wood character, but the sweetness is broader and richer and more vibrant. So the sort of changing of the guard between like woodiness and sweetness happens in such a way that it's really enjoyable. Whereas here, it just kind of hits you in the face, like being punched with wood. This is a transition, a nice handoff. Okay. There's not nuttiness on this. There was nuttiness on 2, and there's not nuttiness on 3. It's interesting because 2, I didn't have nuttiness as a nosing note, but it showed up, that black walnut. Number 3, nothing doing. This gives me some like fresh vanilla and herbal qualities. I really like this. But I don't usually like the herbal whiskeys, but there's so much sweetness. There's almost like a cane sugar sweetness. The very narrow, sharp sweetness is pervasive throughout that, and it kind of finishes very bitter. The barrel bitter does show up at the finish, which is not my favorite, but it's not as prominent and aggressive as number 2 is B. B is a lot more aggressive. So C, I really like the balance, and then kind of finishes this long dryness. Yeah, beautifully sweet, baking spice hints, just a hint of like cinnamon, caramel, into this white and black pepper. Kind of dries you out with this woodiness to finish. All right, I see what they're doing there. It's for you, Mom. Gotta rinse. Oh man. Whoa, after after those first 3, this one does not smell good at all. All right, well, here's to your health. So nutty. So weirdly nutty. I mean, I'm sticking with that being the toffee almond, but like I don't know how I rank that. Like, what do I do with that? That's fucking weird. I probably shouldn't swear as much as these, but I can't. I swear. Hey, Dave's in the chat. How's it going, Dave? Thanks for joining us. We are neck deep in a lineup of 6 different Maker's Mark products. And as you can imagine, it is a shit show. Okay. I'm worried about that flipping over. Yeah, like number 4 is just so nutty. It's the weirdest nuttiness. It doesn't make any sense. If that's not toffee almond, I'm going to be just dumbfounded. Because it's so noticeably different than the others in this lineup. Now, how do I feel about it, though? Do I like it better or more or worse or what? Let's see. I think I like C better. The almond is so pervasive, it's almost overwhelming. It's just too much. All right. Excuse me. Hey, Brandon's in the chat. What's up, Brandon? I got my cousin, Brandon Schaefer. He's hanging out with us. I'm on number 5 now. We're tasting 6 different Maker's Mark products. A lot of people are showing up right at the end here of hour 1 into hour 2. I hope we don't have a shocker like last week, Trevor. That was a shit show. That was a mess. You know, 5 of these are store picks, and store picks are always kind of a crapshoot. The RC6, though, I think should have stood out more than it did. The RC6, you know, Maker's Mark RC6 was lauded, highly recommended, and I loved it. I mean, when I first tried it, I did not like it. I did a review of it recently, which will be posted this coming week, and I really liked it in that review. And the last one will be St. Cloud. Let's hope not, Dave. And so, like, I was so impressed with the RC6 that the fact that it isn't jumping off the plate here tells me one of two things. Either the RC6 was overrated in my with my blinders on. I assumed it was better than it was. Or these are very good store picks. Now, I do think these are good store picks. I know for a fact that these Ohio picks, 4 of these are Ohio picks. One of them was a 2017 store pick that was so good they didn't put the staves on the back of the bottle like they do with every other Maker's private select because they wanted to keep it a secret. So there's a good chance that a lot of these are fantastic Maker's Mark picks, and we're really splitting hairs here. That's what it's about, though. So let's go into letter E. It's the 5th one I'm trying, but I'm trying to keep the letters and the numbers separate because the big reveal is going to be converting letters to numbers. So this is E. Dostrovia. I know you're supposed to say something else for freaking whiskey, but like the only other language I know how to say cheers in is Russian. Dostrovia. So Dostrovia. Oh, see, now I like that better. See, number 4 was so nutty. It was too much. It was just freaking toffee and almonds and hitting you in the face. Number 5, you get both of those flavors. But there's a lot more sweetness. There's a honey note to it. The woodiness shows up better. Oh, man. Number 5 is really... Oh, you know what? Number 5 could be RC6. The thing for me with RC6 was I got sweet candy, a fruity transitional period, and then woodiness. Let me try this again. Sweet candy. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I get this fruitiness. It very well could be. That very well could be RC6. I'm not going to try to guess them right now. That's. I mean, I just the guesses are going to be off. We're really splitting hairs here. I just can't imagine these guesses are going to be even close. And I'm not familiar enough with Ohio's process to understand how their store picks are going to taste either. If you lined up 5 or 6 store picks here from Indiana with stores I frequent, where I know the people that are going on these picks, I know their palates, I know what they look for, I could probably pick them out. I feel pretty confident about that, and maybe overly confident. I've got quite a few not E.H. Taylor. I've got quite a few Elijah Craig store picks. Man, if I had E.H. Taylor store picks, plural, we'd be a different business. I've got quite a few Elijah Craig store picks that I will be opening all at once at some point and doing a massive live stream. That'll be a lot of fun. But that will be mostly picks from places I'm very familiar with. So I anticipate having much more, being much more able to pick them out of a lineup, I'll say. But number 5, man, that's really doing some good. It's woodier. It's woodier than I remember. I'm starting to get a little loose. I'm feeling the alcohol. That's something that will happen. I think there are a lot of people that watch the long form live streams on YouTube, specifically with drinking videos, to just watch people get drunk. I feel like I'm pretty goofy sober, so like watching me get drunk is not going to be that entertaining. It's just going to watch me have a harder time saying sentences. But you know, I try to intentionally not be that guy. That's not the channel I want to run. I want to be goofy. I want to have fun, but I'm not here to have you all watch me get trashed. This is not alcoholism porn. That's not what I'm about at all. With that, you know, really upbeat, happy sentiment, let's go into number 6. Oh shit. Hold on. God, the nose on this is unreal. It's so sweet and buttery and just, ugh. Oh, I hope it tastes, if it tastes half this good, it'll be fantastic. Okay. It's not half as good. The nose is so much better than the palate on that. Let me dig into it here. See, number 6 is a very good pour. I like it. I mean, the nose is way better than the palate. Don't get me wrong, but it's still very good. I like it a lot. I like it more than some of these for sure. But it doesn't remind me of Maker's Mark. It's accepting the toffee almond. I think that number 6 is the most off profile. See, so I'm just glad none of them turned out grassy for you. That sounds awful. Yeah. That sucks, Steve. You got a grassy one? Ugh. Now, I've had earthy whiskeys. I've had some very floral and some very herbal whiskeys. But grass is not a note I've pulled very frequently. I've had lemongrass. That maybe is the closest, but lemongrass is much sweeter. Yeah, like Scotch grassy is not something I would expect from a bourbon, as Dave mentioned. So let me give you some more notes out of this. This is a tricky one for me. I'm having trouble here. I think I'm getting hung up on the nose. I need to just be focused on giving you guys some better notes. Steve. I don't know if you guys follow my social media, but before I started this, I was already drinking whiskey, which is, of course, a great idea, right? I was pre-gaming with this Larceny Rural Inn pick number 2. And I got to tell you, I totally get where you're coming from with Larceny being grassy as a weeder. But this was weedy and it was really cool. I liked it. It was like honey wheat. It was like a honey wheat cereal. There are some cool Larceny store picks out there. So it's worth checking out. Now, I know you're not going to probably be able to get your hands on the Rural Inn store pick, that specific one. They probably already sold out of it or something. But I mention that only because I think it's so important that we're talking about all these as store picks. Like, this is a lineup of store picks with only one exception. So I totally feel you, Steve, that there are some grassy, weird whiskeys out there, but Larceny store picks can be different. Recently, I tasted the Larceny B520 barrel proof whiskey. I've had what do I have? I have the 120 Larceny barrel proof, and I didn't care for it, but the 520 was much better and much different. So there's a lot of stuff that can be really interesting out of that. Hey, Trevor, what you said you got a Japanese whiskey from Costco. Was it Costco brand? What did you get from what Japanese product are you talking about? Because there's actually some controversy that some of the whiskeys coming out of Japan say that they're out of Japan but are not actually Japanese. So I'm curious if you provide more detail. I'd love to hear it. Grassy Glenlivet Founders Edition once as well. That sounds like a bottle issue, Steve. Oh, I swallowed it wrong. And I'm fucking up. Guys, this is a tricky one. We're having trouble today. I've had some really bad bottles, so getting Grassy out of a Glenlivet Founders Edition once. That sounds like a bad bottle to me. All right, let's get serious here. A lot of cereal, a lot of grain. The grain really shows up. That wheat is there. I think at one point I might have said something had a rye spice. I hope I didn't. That'd be really fucking stupid. Probably did. I probably knew better, but cereal note for sure. Definitely sweet. God, there's like, it's so interesting to me how the woody variance applies across these different pours. Some of these are just like wood in your face. Some of these have almost no wood at all. Number 6, I'll try it again, but I don't think there's any wood at all happening in this pour. No, there's a little bit of wood. It's like a nutty woodiness in the mid palate. But you get a little bit of bitter barrel tannin in there as well. But then it goes away rather quickly. See, the finishing note to me on that is herbal. Let's see. Yeah, let me know, Trevor. We'll chat about that. Oh man, guys, you know, pre-gaming for this rather hefty series of pours was a mistake. But we will soldier on. Okay, I'm going to give myself an initial ranking, and then I'm going to add water. Because these are, in fact, all barrel-proof products. They're relatively low barrel proofs. I mean, we're not talking like 65 or 70%. This isn't crazy. But adding water to products that are barrel-proof can really make a difference. And it's not necessarily going to be for, you know, figuring out if you like it more or not. It's not about liking this. It's about pulling notes out. And, you know, maybe you'll like one of them or several of them more when you add water. But I think it's really, for me, about trying to figure out what else is in there, what's hiding underneath the surface. It's a rare time where I'm putting whiskey together with water that's whiskey of this caliber. Typically, I will put whiskey on ice. They're going to be under $30 whiskeys. If I'm really feeling frisky, I'll get like a round cube and put like a $50 whiskey on a round cube. And, you know, July and August are the time to do that kind of stuff. But we'll see how this goes. So let me get some numbers down. So I got a good sense of the first 4. Let me go on 5 here. Okay. Now, how does that compare to 2? God damn it. I can't stick with the letters. So that was E. How does that compare with B? Oh. I might like B. Oh, man. I might like E better. Shit, I think I do. Did not expect that. I really didn't. All right, let's go back to A. Let me I'm out of water. Aw, shucks. Maybe Yolanda will hear me in the live stream and go get me a big gallon of water that I can just dump into this. I can hear her moving in the background. Big shout out to Yolanda, by the way. I think being the partner of a YouTuber is a huge pain in the ass, so having someone be supportive is very good.
You are a huge pain in the ass.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I needed. Yeah, that's what I needed right there. Okay. Let's get back to business, guys. Uh-oh. Sorry about this. So Steve asked if I have a favorite note. His is vanilla brown sugar. That's a great question, Steve. I think my favorite note is probably, this is a really pretentious note, blueberry pie. Or cobbler. I've gotten sort of this combination of blueberry and like cane sugar and brown sugar and butter. You get those four together and with a breadiness. So I guess there's five with this sort of crust breadiness. All those put together are just unbelievable. So if I get blueberry cobbler out of a pour, or I'm sold. I'll buy all of the bottles immediately. And a lot of your flavor notes really do tie to tastes from your history. I don't want to get too deep in the psychology of all of this, but I am certain that for me, there are a lot of emotional components to flavors. I have really strong connections to flavors. You can ask Yolanda. You can ask my friends. If people have been with me while I eat a meal, they will see how much I'm enjoying it and be like, "What is happening right now?" and a lot of that I think is because I have huge emotional connection to certain flavors. So things like blueberry cobbler take me back to my grandma's kitchen. And things like like chili, which is not something you're going to get from whiskey, but chili is something that I always have with my parents. So like chili is going to bring me back to my mom and dad's house. Food has always been a huge part of my life, and flavors like that were, honestly, it was how we showed love. Like love was a food connection, which is why I got this gut on me for certain, but it certainly helped highlight the nuance of flavor for me. So the chat is getting a little rowdy over here. So Steve asked if that influences my choices when I do these blinds. Nate said I'm pretentious. Go fuck yourself, Nate. Thanks for all the samples. And Mike said, I don't know why, but chocolate-covered cherries is mine, but only found it once. Mike, what did you find chocolate-covered cherries in? Let me know. Put that in the chat. I would love to know where you found chocolate-covered cherries, because that's a great note. It's an uncommon one, you're right. But I have an idea in my mind where you might have found it, and I want to know if I'm right. What the fuck was I doing? I was trying to rank these. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to taste them in the order I currently have them ranked, and we'll see if I'm right or not. Oh, man, this is all wrong. Shit. All right, let's get some water on this situation. Not good. I do not like how much my palate changes over time. That's very concerning. Okay. Oh, think I saw that Mike responded. Crowded Barrel. Mike, you know what? I've never had Crowded Barrel. I can't speak to that. Uncle Dave said he got chocolate and cherries in Old Forester, but not chocolate covered cherries, Old Forester 100. I got chocolate covered cherries on the Woodford Reserve special edition, the chocolate malted rye, because there is a cherry note in there, and the chocolate's very prominent. And to me, I believe it read like chocolate covered cherries. Not all the time. It was, something that I had to explore to find, but that's really interesting. I'd love to taste that Crowded Barrel. That's super fantastic. I love it. I love chocolate covered cherries as a note. But my favorite is definitely a blueberry cobbler. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do, because this is all fucked now. I'm going to go through all of these pours, and just in my mind, in like one shot, I'm going to go pour water, pour water, pour water, pour water, back to back to back to back, in that order. And I'll just give them a number, snap judgment style. Yeah, Mike, you really do got to pick up that Woodford. I mean, if you like a chocolate note, you like a cherry note, like Woodford is really good for your cherry note. You're going to get cherries out of Woodford in my experiences. And God, the chocolate malted rye is just so chocolatey. Okay. Let's dig into this. Okay, here we go. Mmm. I I said I was going to sip water between these, and I totally have not. No, I got to not do it. I got to do it only once. All right. Okay. So I'm going to check and make sure all these pours are the same level. If they're not, I'm going to take sips, and then I'm going to add some water to them. Oh, boy. Okay. They're not close to the same level. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I know I literally just 5 seconds ago said I was going to do that. I'm not going to do that, because I'm really feeling these 6 pours, ironically. How the hell did I do 12 pours or 11 pours or whatever of Knob Creek in a Booker's? Because these 6 pours of Maker's Mark are kicking my ass. It's just got to be because I poured much heavier pours. I poured these at 1.5 ounces or almost 2. I think it was probably an ounce to 1.5 ounces, but I was smart when I did those when I did the Bookers and when I did with the Knob Creek. I did 1/2 ounce pours. I'm regretting not doing that today. So I'm just going to put some water in each of them. Number 4 is significantly. I'm going to do 2 drops in each of these. Number 4 is significantly heavier, so I'm going to go 3 drops. Number 5 is significantly lighter, so I'm going to go 1 drop. And then we'll stir all these up, give them one more taste, and see what happens. Oh, oh. This is some sort of like religious ritual, the stirring of the glasses. They do not dig when you hold them like this. Oh no, that's where I'm at today. Okay. The chat, once again, I'm not up to date. Yolanda has shouted at me to drink more water. Don't worry, babe. I've got a lot of water. Yeah, Nate and so yeah, Mike mentioned picking up the Woodford chocolate malted rye. Nate and Trevor are really high on it. I was not as high on it. It's a good pour. It just wasn't for me. I did do a review of it, so it's worth checking out on the channel. YouTube.com/The Drink Pro. I think you already know that though. Like you all are here, so you all know my URL. But what the hell? Nothing like a shameless plug. Just trying to flip the table over. When I'm leaning forward, it's because I'm using this tiny ass screen to do all of the video in my monitor and for the camera and for the chat. And so I can't read because my eyes are not Hawkeyes. Nate says, unique and worth the experience. At 150, I would need a recommendation first. Yeah. Yeah. Mike, get Nate to send you some samples. Mike and Nate, you two should swap some samples. You'll have a good time with that. No, Trevor's right. Chocolate malted rye is not a daily sipper. It's a cool one to try. It's a nice thing to have, but it's not a daily sipper. It is still out in the wild. Dave, I would say you can find the chocolate malted rye in the wild, but you're not going to find it at your more accessible stores. If you go to something in a rural area, something that has less foot traffic, and something that has less high dollar purchasing occurring at the store. So I've bought some really interesting pours at several relatively small rural Illinois or suburban, usually rural, Illinois liquor stores that they have people there that like whiskey, but there is a small number of them and they know what they like. So they had a lot of really good stuff on the shelves because they were able to get their hands on it through distribution because they're selling good whiskey and they're selling cheap whiskey, both. But they're just not selling those particular pours. So I do think that you can find chocolate malted rye on the shelves. You just have to find the right place to look. And I will say again, that's based on Indiana and Illinois. Neither of those are control states. Control states have a wholly different method of operation. I will also say, though, because the chocolate malted rye didn't get the fanfare of a lot of the batch proofs or barrel proofs, that there is a secondary market for chocolate malted rye that's relatively low. You'd be able to get a chocolate malted rye without going too far over MSRP in the secondary if it's something you were interested in. If it's also something you've not explored before, hit me up in a private message and we can talk about the secondary market. I know that's intimidating for a lot of people and there's a lot of risk involved. I won't act like there isn't, but that's something that is worth exploring if you really feel like you want to get your hands on one of these. So I'm happy to help you on that journey. So, but first you should just have Nate send you a sample. Okay, so yeah, so Steve said that Noble Oak has the chocolate malted rye. Nate is not making any sense in the chat. He needs to go home. He's drunk. We'll do one more ceremonial stir. Oh, oh, oh. All right. I fear, my friends, that we are past the point of valuable tasting notes. So I am just going to try to rank these, guess these, and then we're going to do the reveal. It's been a rather long stream, hour 34, almost an hour 35. Can't help it. I'm too excited. I'm too chatty. Say lovey. Okay. Let's see. I think C is my lowest. Okay. Ooh, adding water to 2 did not help it. Oh no. Ooh. Adding water to D, which I believe to be toffee almond, really did help it. I got this interesting chocolate note. It mellowed out some of the weirdness. Good pour. Okay, number 5. Well, number 6, actually. I'm trying to go in order from like lowest to highest ranking. Yeah, so I think 6 goes higher. Last but not least, 7. Yeah, okay. So my ranking is I'm going to go lowest to highest. C is the lowest. It's just not good. It's astringent, it's narrow, it's sharp, and then there's too much bitterness at the end. Not good. Second is A. There's a lot of positives in A on the nose, but the palate just, it was disappointing to me. The third is B. B really, really benefits from tasting it. The nose on it was not great, but I really liked what was happening on the palate. And then when you go back to smell it, it really hit the note. Number 4 of 6. Apparently I said 7 or something. Number 4 was D. This is the toffee almond. It's weird, but cool. Number 5 was F. This is more traditional Maker's Mark for me than the toffee almond, but it hits a lot of really good notes. I love a lot of the character of it. And then finally, my favorite one was E. This was a lot like the toffee almond. It had a lot of toffee almond characteristics, but it was softer, it was sweeter, it had more nuance. So that's how I'm going to pick them. Now, I could try to pick out which is what. I'm sure, but at this point, I honestly think that's going to be just not helpful. I guess I'll do it. I guess I'll try to figure out which pour I think is what, but I just have zero confidence in that because the pours are so similar. But before I do that, let me respond to the chat real quick. Trevor likes long streams. Nate said, you asked why you could drink the Bookers and stuff, and the lineup was a problem. I said you ate more. I had a relatively large dinner before this. I think I just drank less. Nate said, yeah, you do. Yolanda said 7. Steve says he's betting RC6-1. It may have. Honestly, I think it got second place. I think it was the 6th pour. We'll see. So, well, let me. So we've got 21st Amendment pour. We've got the old Ohio pick. We've got toffee almond. We've got Grandma's Kitchen. We've got honeysuckle, and we've got RC6. That's where I'm coming from. I've already said, and I'll say it again. D is gotta be toffee almond. It's just gotta be. I can't imagine that that's not toffee almond. Now, honeysuckle is a wee bit harder because I'm expecting herbal and honey out of that. So we're just going to go down the line, try to figure out what's what. That, to me, is going to be, it's not good. It's not my favorite, at least. I mean, given the qualities of it, I'm going to say that that's the old Ohio pick. Number 2. See, that's fruity. It's sweet. I mean, I guess that could be honeysuckle. So which one? I said that honeysuckle was going to be 6. It tastes 6 now. Nope. Number 2. Number 2 is RC6. Number 6 is honeysuckle. All right, number 3. So bitter. Let me try 5 real quick here. Between those two, I'm going to say 5 is Grandma's Kitchen, and 3 is the. I'm not giving 21st a lot of credit here, but I hope to be proven wrong. Sorry for the quick little chug there. I really needed it. I needed the water. Okay, let's do the reveal, shall we? So, the only bottle I have is the 21st Amendment pick. As you can see, it was number 3. Number 2 was the Ohio store pick. Number 5 is honeysuckle. Number 1 is Grandma's Kitchen. Number 6 is the Maker's Mark RC6. And number 4 is Toffee Almond. So let's go ahead and do the big reveal. Number 1, which I thought was the Ohio store pick generic, was number 5. This was the honeysuckle pick. That really surprises me. I guess it has the herbal note, but I just don't get the honey. Like, if it's supposed to be honeysuckle, I expect more honey, at least up front. I guess there's some honey in the mid palate, but like it's herbal and then they get this like aftertaste of honey. Whatever. Number 2 is number 6. And what did I say number 6 was? Number 6 was the RC6. I got that one right.
Have you ever tasted a honeysuckle flower?
Yes.
They don't taste like honey.
I know. Yeah, they taste like the honeysuckle flower and not like honey. Okay. Honeysuckle, by the way, was my second from lowest. I know Nate loves it. Nate, you can keep it. I'm happy that I guessed RC6 right. That's fun. So let's go ahead and go to number 3 here. It was number 4. And number 4 was... number 4 was Toffee Almond. Wait, what? Number 3? Wait a minute. I got Toffee Almond wrong? That is a real problem because number 4 should be Toffee Almond. I'm sorry, let me be clear. D should be Toffee Almond, but it's not. C is Toffee Almond. That is a problem. And it also means Toffee Almond was one of my lowest ranking pours. All right, number 4, the one that I was certain was Toffee Almond. Because it's so nutty, it's so toffee. That was the 21st Amendment pick. It is very different than anything else, so I guess I'm not that surprised that it's the one that doesn't tell you what the staves are, because that seems like something you would do if you were trying to keep it a secret. Go ahead and pour myself some more water here. But yeah, that really, I mean, I was so certain about Toffee Almond. This is, I understand that Ohio named number 3 Toffee Almond, but let me tell you, this number 4, which is D, was more Toffee Almond flavored. It had Toffee Almond times 1,000 compared to number 3. So let's go to number 5 here, which I'm almost out of, is number 1. Number 1 is Grandma's Kitchen. Grandma's Kitchen won for me. That was my favorite. Yeah, that was my favorite. Grandma's Kitchen, man, I'm doing something right. And that means that number 6 is number 2, and number 2 was the Maker's Mark Private Select State Pick, the first one, or the prior year's one. Very good. I actually think that means I preferred the prior year Ohio State pick to any of the 3 new picks that have gotten so much traction. If you check on the secondary markets, there are 4 total new picks. They are all selling for real money out there. But the old Ohio State pick was better, in my personal opinion. And you know it wasn't biased because they did it blind. I had no idea what was what. That's really cool, guys. I really enjoy that. It's fun to see that the toffee almond that I was so certain was toffee almond wasn't toffee almond. It just goes to show you that, like, yeah, you can name a pick whatever you want if it reminds you of something, but tell you what, this 21st Amendment pick was the big surprise for me because it was so nutty, so toffee forward. It just, you would have sworn it was toffee almond if you didn't know that there was another name for these picks. Well, my favorite is Grandma's Kitchen. I was wrong before when I said that nothing beat the 2019, I'm sorry, the 2019 Ohio pick. Number 1 was Grandma's Kitchen. That was a 2020 pick. 2019 pick of Ohio was number 2. And number 3, I was so certain was toffee almond, was in fact the 21st Amendment store pick by the assistant manager at one of their stores. So number 4, by the way, was RC6. RC6 was good. So the ranking system that I use on this paper, I have 7, 6.5, 6, 5, and then considerably lower. So for me, numbers 1 and 3 were notably less good than the rest. The RC6 was the lowest of my 4 favorites, but yeah, you know, I really did not care for the honeysuckle. I really didn't care for it. And even stronger than that, I didn't care for wait a minute. Wait a minute. I've got myself all confused. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, even more than that, I really didn't care for the toffee almond. Toffee almond, really didn't like toffee almond. Didn't care for honeysuckle. Really liked Grandma's Kitchen. That's so interesting. That's got to be a palate preference situation. The fact that I loved best out of any of these, better than the RC6, one of Ohio's picks, and I hated, well, I didn't hate, but I disliked the most 2 other Ohio picks. It really says that they were going for a broad palette. I mean, I'm imagining to myself, the 4th one might be really in my bailiwick as well, really something I love, because they're trying to appeal to a lot of different people. So what's going on in the chat? We got a lot of things happening here. Yeah. Oh, boy. What else is happening here? Nate really likes honeysuckle. Lots of baking spice. Honeysuckle. I mean, I get a lot of baking spice out of it, but the sweetness that Maker's Mark is so known for is just missing. Caramel Mocha Bomb was an amazing pick. Should give you a sample of that. I'd love to have a sample of it, Trevor. I mean, obviously I've killed most of these, so I can't do side-by-sides, but I'd love to have a sample of the Caramel Mocha Bomb. Yeah, that 2019 state pick was really, really good. I think that was like my number 2 or number 3. It was number 2. Very good. Yeah, I mean, Steve, I think you do. Like you got to know who's picking it. Like you got to understand who is picking this pick, and is it somebody whose palate you trust? Because the RC6 didn't stand out, and you would think it would. And don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed the RC6. Just tasting it again, I really enjoy the RC6, but there's a lot of other good things in this lineup that make it not stand out. It's good. It's not fantastic. So, if I were you, I would definitely explore some, Maker's Mark Private Select picks, and I would do them blind. I would totally do them blind. If you get a pick, first off, don't do uh, the neck pour. That's like a big thing that's frowned upon. And a matter of fact, I wonder if I may have ranked this 21st Amendment pick low because it was relatively recently opened. I think I opened it an hour ago. No, 2 hours ago. I opened this Maker's Mark 21st Amendment pick. And you got to give them a chance to breathe. I think you open it, you pour out 2 pours. This is, in my personal opinion, you open it, you give yourself 2 different pours. The third pour from a bottle is the one you review, blind, and you'll get the best information that way. That's right, Trevor. There's 1,001 combinations or something for everybody. I am surprised I didn't like honeysuckle too. Honeysuckle on paper is something I'd really like, but I think the fact that it's not honey, Yolanda pointed this out, the fact that it's honeysuckle. I don't typically like herbal whiskeys, and sure enough, the herbal whiskeys in this were the ones I put lowest because number 1 was the 5. It's hard to keep track. I should have written this down. Yeah, the honeysuckle was my second to lowest, and that toffee almond. The thing with the toffee almond is I'm getting the almond bitter. Like number 4, which is this bottle here, I get an almond I get a sweetness and an almond note, and the toffee sweetness is what remains. On the toffee almond from Ohio, I get this barrel bitter finish. And so, like, yeah, you get a toffee almond note right at the beginning, but the barrel bitter finish just doesn't. You can't overcome that barrel bitter finish. It's too much. It just doesn't get you where you need to go. So yeah, that's where I'm at. This was a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you. I appreciate every one of you. I'll say it again. If you've got any of the Maker's products that I don't have, I would love to have those for a big series of videos. So what I'm going to do with the Makers, I said Makers, I'm sorry, the Michters. What I'm going to do with the Michters products is a series of videos akin to what I did with the Weller products, where I have one video each week, and in each video I try all the stuff before and the current one. I do that all to a culmination point. I'd love to do that with the Michters. I've got several good ones up here. I'll say them again so you know. I've got the Baumburgers, I got the Shanks, I've got 10-year rye, 10-year bourbon, I've got the toasted sour mash, and I've got what I believe to be the toasted barrel finished bourbon. If you have any other Michters products other than what I've just named, I'd love to try them. I'd love to have them in this lineup. Hit me up, reach out to me. The Drink Pro on every social media platform except, and I just joined this, TikTok. I'm now on TikTok at _ the Drink Pro, because apparently at the Drink Pro is taken. Fuck you, whoever took that. But at _ the Drink Pro on TikTok. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'm going to combine all of these and make like a weird master sample just because I can. And after I drink that master sample, I'm going to go eat all of the food in the pantry because I need something to absorb all this ridiculous alcohol that I've just drank for the internet. What else do we have in the chat? Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. I'm glad people enjoyed it. All right, everybody. Oh, Nate said their toffee almond had a creamy mouthfeel. Well, you know what? I would tell you, I would check it, but they're all combined now, so that's not going to happen. All right. We're just about at 2 hours. That's a good amount of time to be in the stream. We've had some people leave, so you all keep drinking like professionals. I'll do my best. Cheers, guys.